Hey, what's going on, guys? Matty A here with the Six Figure Flipper, and I am standing out in front of one of my recent projects that I just flipped. We just got the staging in, it's getting ready to go on the market, and this one is going to be a six-figure profit. Yes, six figures, and you're probably wondering, well, how the hell is a little house like that gonna make you six figures? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and break down in this video what we did to the house, the before, the after, the ultimate transformation, and really run through the scope of work, how we found the deal, the numbers on the deal. I wanna break down every single aspect of it for you because I wanna give you as much value as possible so you can really see that it's not that difficult. Now, finding these kind of opportunities is the secret sauce, and that's something that we teach and train inside the Six Figure Flipper group, and this is something where you can do this in any market. This isn't rocket science. Now, there's a system, there's definitely a method to the madness, and you wanna make sure that you execute at a really high level, but anybody can do this. We got retirees, college students, realtors, mortgage professionals, full 9-to-5ers doing this as a side hustle. So today we're gonna go through the house. I'm gonna show you a quick walkthrough. Let's check it out, and then we'll get into the office. Hey, real fast, before I show you the transformation, the finished product, it looks damn good, but I want you guys to see what it looked like before we actually did it. So we're gonna do a little flashback. My contractor Clancy's gonna walk you through the scope of work, what we actually did to the project, and then I'll let you guys see the finished product.
All right, so we're coming in here. What we have going on, we have Oscar's laying some flooring throughout, so we kind of have our guys staggered, right? We can't throw too many people in here, but we got laminate going in today. We squared off our holes because we got a little crazy on our demo, so we squared off our holes for our drywall, things like that. Come on into the kitchen. Granite went in today. We did a 6-inch backsplash. So normally we go up with our 18-inch backsplash. We do things a little bit different. But this one we went to 6-inch backsplash. Don't overbuild, right? So that's our thing. We will change all the hardware. We'll paint our cabinets, things like that. We are going to paint after the granite goes in. And the reason being is I just don't want to scratch our brand new fresh painted cabinets. We cut out this cabinet. I don't know if you remember from the last video. We had a drawer bank here as well as a drawer bank here. We need a dishwasher. So cut this cabinet out, made ourselves a spot for a dishwasher, left ourselves an air gap location. Our range will go over here, and our refrigerator. We'll throw some new hardware, throw a new kitchen light in here, which we have, and we can show you all the material. We did need a new fire door, so we'll get that installed today as well, so we make sure the property is secure. Coming on in here, we got Scott working with a flashlight. So what we do is we pull all our cover plates off. We always change our outlets and switches to tamper resistant. One, it's code here. Also, it just updates it. Go to the Victoria style, gives you a little bit more aesthetic pleasing. So we'll pull all our doorknobs off. All our wires, we go ahead and cut. Any Cat 5, any cable or anything like that, we cut, shove it back in the wall. We'll patch that. The new homeowner, when they move in, they're gonna get this stuff for free from AT&T or DirecTV or whoever they go through. So we'll let them install that. So we have Brandon in here installing a new tub. We did run into a little bit of a hiccup. So because this property didn't call for tile and all the, the higher end finishes, we were gonna do a fiberglass tub surround. But what happened is we have this window coming down a little too far. They had just a fiberglass panel glued to each wall. It yellowed, looked really shitty, to be completely honest. We got a new fiberglass tub surround, and what they do, they have niches and alcoves for all your shampoo bottles and things like that. But if we would have cut it, it would have stuck off the wall quite far. So today, we had a little bit of drama involved, and we're gonna have to end up just tiling all the way up to give it that look. And that way we can get around this window, make it look a little bit better too, instead of doing that shitty glue-on fiberglass. So one of the things that we do, that's just kind of included in our bid. These hiccups come up, but we have to stick to our numbers, especially with investors. So we're gonna throw a 24-inch vanity in here. We are gonna leave this. Normally we throw a picture mirror, but there's no storage in here. So we are gonna throw a medicine cabinet in here, do a frameless medicine cabinet. New vanity light, new toilet, which we have. We always put new angle stops on. And Maddie decided to break this door last time, so we've got a new door for this too. Coming into technically our master bedroom, we'll throw a new fan up, which we have. Here's our toilet, some of our material. Our kitchen light, we went with a little bit lower end materials because that's what it calls for. Here's our fiberglass tub surround. If you come over here, here's what I'm talking about on our niches and our alcoves and our shampoos. So this actually sticks off the wall because we have to screw that panel on. It would have looked fine, it would have fit perfect for this neighborhood, but what happens is it does stick off. So we would have had to cut, we would have had a gap around that window. So we had to annex that idea, and we're just gonna go tile all the way up. So pretty basic rehab, guys. All in all, new hardware, shiny objects, and we'll get this thing finished up and painted at the end. Our laminate's gonna run throughout here and carpet in the bedrooms. What do you think, Maddie?
Good stuff.
Cool.
Simple, easy project. These guys make it happen.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so now that you know what we did to the project, let's check it out. All right, so we're back in the office, and like I said, wanted to run through the numbers with you guys real fast, and I figured it'd be nice to know, first and foremost, where did the deal come from, right? So what is the lead source that I found this deal through? I think it's always important to highlight what the seller's motivation is, because that's a really key part of not only negotiating, but negotiating with integrity and finding that win-win. Then obviously running through the numbers of what I purchased it for, how did I fund the deal? Because that's always a key question, especially when you don't have a whole lot of money in your pocket. A lot of people think you have to be a millionaire or have thousands of dollars sitting in your bank account to fund these kind of opportunities when they come across your plate. That's not the truth, so I want to run through that real quick. Obviously, what did the rehab budget look like? And then most importantly, what's that money look like, right? So real quick, lead source, direct mail. Now there's a ton of different ways that you can find off-market properties, but you got to think of this like fishing, right? If all the fishermen are fishing around the same pond and the banks are super crowded and everybody's using practically the same bait and going after the same fish, it's going to be a lot more challenging to find the opportunities that really make sense and that are really profitable, right? So direct mail is one of those off-market strategies that allows you to get directly to the source, directly to the seller, right? The individual who's gonna be making the decision. I don't wanna talk to their agent. I don't wanna talk to another wholesaler that's locked up the deal and is trying to skim some off the top. I wanna get directly in contact with the individual who's gonna be making the decision, and that's where I can utilize my best strengths and skills to find that win-win and still make a profit on the opportunity. So direct mail is where I found this opportunity. Now, after having a conversation with him, what I uncovered was by asking, key questions that we have in the, seller intake sheet is we want to ask strategic questions that help us uncover some clues that will better get an idea of why he's actually selling. So after asking a bunch of questions, I ended up buying 3 properties from this one guy. And what I found was that one, he wanted to go into retirement. He was done being a landlord and he was just tired of being stressed out, dealing with tenants, dealing with toilets, dealing with taxes, dealing with all kinds of stuff that goes on with being a landlord. And if you don't run your real estate business like a business, your real estate business is gonna run you. And so he was experiencing that pain and that stress. And so by uncovering that motivation, I was able to go back into the negotiating process and keep reminding him why he was selling. Keep reminding him, this is all about you getting these, stressors off your plate, getting the cash, going into retirement, enjoying life with your wife, traveling, doing all the fun things that you want to do, right? Emotional decisions. and highlighting the fact that this pain is going to be removed from your life. And so I always say that when their motivation meets your price, that's when you have a win-win, right? When somebody is forced to do something and you're just lowballing them and taking advantage of that situation, there's not a lot of integrity in that, right? So I call it the swan effect. Sleep well at night. We want to find what their motivation is, make sure that their motivation meets our price, that it's that win-win, everybody's feeling good, and that's where there's longevity in this business for you. So after finding out what his motivation was, he actually threw out the price to me, which is always a great thing when a seller puts out the price to you, because then you can really gauge where their interest is at. And he said, I will sell you this property for $75,000. So after running my numbers, I knew that it was an amazing opportunity. I jumped on it right away. I didn't know how I was gonna fund the deal yet, because this was a house that I actually bought a few years back when I was first getting started. I held this as a rental property. And after taking on the headache of the rental property, I decided I was gonna flip it, put it back on the market, and run the numbers and what you'll see here in a second. But $75,000 was what I purchased it for. And I'm a big fan of funding all your deals with OPM, other people's money. So I didn't have good credit at the time. I barely had any money in my bank account. I had no real track record or experience as being a real estate investor. But because it was a good opportunity, you've heard the cliched statement before of if you find a great deal, the money will follow it. Well, that was exactly what this deal was. So I funded this using a first position hard money lender who covered 80% of the purchase price. And then there was that 20% down payment that I had to come up with. Well, obviously, I didn't know how I was gonna come up with that funds, but I found a private lender, somebody that I paid interest and points while I was holding their money and using it to fund the 20% down payment. 100% of this property was funded using other individuals' money. That's always a win. That makes me happy. So once we got that, I took on the stress of the tenants. The house was in pretty bad repair. However, saying I kept it in my rental portfolio for a little while. Then I decided that the market was good, so I was going to rehab this house. And after walking through the property, which you probably saw the before condition, we determined that in order to get it in the top sales condition, we needed to put about $33,000 into it. So that obviously entailed all the things that you saw in the video, going from what it was to what it is now. $33,000 budget. And then of course, the thing that gets me most excited is what is the sale price and the profit. So with that being said, we know that comps similar to this subject property are selling in the 245 to 250, 255 range. Being that my product is very superior or very comparable and mirroring those top comps, I feel good that we're gonna get about $249,000 out of this house. And after all is said and done, the profit, $104,000-ish. And that's a gross profit, right? So I'm gonna have to pay taxes at the end of the year, just like everybody else is. But $104,000 gross profit, six-figure profit, that's as good as it gets right there. And I just wanna highlight that these deals aren't always common, right? But just by being in the game, by being able to put yourself in a position to get in the batter's box, take a few hacks at it, of course you're gonna strike out. I mean, that's what real estate investing is all about. You're not gonna get on base every time you step in there, but you're gonna, by getting reps in the batter's box, you're gonna get those singles, you're gonna get those doubles. Every once in a while, you're gonna get a home run. Right? And so this was something that I just wanted to share with you guys, because I know there's a lot of real estate investors on my channel, or there's a lot of aspiring real estate investors who are just kind of feeling it out, trying to, get a better idea of if they can do it, what it entails. And I will tell you this, if you want the freedom, the flexibility, the financial abundance, the lifestyle that you have dreamed of, right here, there's no mistake why real estate investing is one of the greatest and most proven vehicles for helping you do that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got a good idea of what this actually looks like more on a logistical, tactical standpoint. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know, leave a comment below. And if you like this video and got some good value from it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And more tutorials, more case studies, more transformations, more real estate interviews will be released on this channel each and every week. And I always love connecting with you guys. This is why I do what I do. So with that being said, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace.